This video is sponsored by AI Juice. Hey, what's up everybody? This is me Ray from raynavas.com and welcome back to this brand new After Effects tutorial. In this tutorial, we are gonna make a dynamic logo animation inside of After Effects. So if you are new to the channel, consider subscribing and also press the bell icon so you will get notified whenever I will post a new tutorial. And if you want to download the project file of this tutorial, so link is in the description and you can download from there. Now let's jump straight into After Effects and get started. Alright guys, here we are in After Effects and let's start by creating our first composition by clicking over here and rename it to main, render as our main render cop. Width and height is 1920 by 1080, 30 fps and 7 seconds long, then hit OK. After that, create another composition, rename it to logo placeholder. Width and height is same as our previous composition and hit OK. Then we have this logo right over here and drag and drop this logo in this composition and go back to your main composition. Right click over here, create a new solid layer and rename it to BG for background and hit OK. After that, go into effect and preset window and search for fill effect. Drag and drop this effect right here and change its color to somewhere around this dark color right here and hit OK. Perfect. After that, create another composition and rename it to logo outline. Width and height is same as our previous composition and hit OK. After that, drag and drop this logo placeholder in this composition and go into effect and preset window and search for find edges. Drag and drop it here. Again, go into effect and preset window and search for simple choker. Drag and drop it here and change the choke matte to around 3%. Again, go into effect and preset window and search for Gaussian blur. Drag and drop it here and change the blurriness to 0.3 maybe and go into your main composition and drag and drop this logo outline right here. Then go into effect and preset window and search for Vegas effect. Drag and drop it here and change the segments to 3%. Change the blend mode to transparent, hardness to all the way 1% and make sure you are at the very beginning of your animation and change the length to all the way 0% and add a keyframe by clicking on this stopwatch icon of the length and the rotation. Then go at 3 seconds and change the length all the way to 1% and change the rotation to 115 like this. Perfect. Select this layer and press U on your keyboard to reveal the keyframe properties and go at 2 seconds and 15 frame and drag this last keyframe of the length right here. And after that, select this layer and press Shift plus T to reveal the opacity property like this and go at 2 seconds and add a keyframe by clicking on the stopwatch icon of the opacity and go at 3 seconds and change the opacity to 0% like this and select all the keyframe and hit F9 on your keyboard to make them easy ease. Go into graph editor, right click over here and make sure you are working on the speed graph, not the value graph. After that, select all the keyframes and drag them to somewhere around 80 to 85% of the influence. You can see that here. After that, select these two keyframes and drag them to somewhere around 20 or 22% around here. Then go back and close its properties and select it and press Ctrl D to make a duplicate and go at 1 second and 10 frames and go into effect and preset window and search for glow effect. Drag and drop it here and change the glow threshold to around 30% and glow radius to 15% like this. Again, go into effect and preset window and search for CC radial blur. Drag and drop it here and change the type to fading zoom and change the amount to 200% like this and change the quality to around 70%. Perfect. After that, drag and drop this logo outline composition right here and go into effect and preset window and search for fill effect and drag and drop this effect right here and select this eyedropper tool and select this background color like this. Perfect. After that, select this layer and press T to reveal the opacity properties and go at 10 frames and add a keyframe on the opacity and go at the very beginning of your animation and change the opacity to 0%. Select both the keyframe, hit F9 on your keyboard, go into graph editor and change your graph to something like this. Perfect. Go back. Now let me take a minute and tell you about AI Juice, where you will get 99% off on I Want It All bundle, where you will get analog glitch, animated markers, VHS and 75 plus products and 11,000 plus assets. So what are you waiting for? Take your video game to the next level with I Want It All bundle. But we are not done yet. If you will buy from the link in my description and use the promo code RAY10, so you will get 10% discount as a being the part of our community. Now let's get back to our tutorial and create another composition and rename it to logo glass. Width and height same as our previous composition, and after that drag and drop this logo outline composition right here and create another composition and rename it to reflection map. Width and height is same as our previous composition and hit OK. Here we have this map, drag and drop it here and hit S on your keyboard to reveal the scale properties and scale it down to somewhere around 80 or 70% right here, and go into effect and preset window and search for a motion tile. Drag and drop this effect right here and change the output width 200% and click on this mirror edges and go at the very beginning of your animation and add a keyframe on tile center and go at the very end of your composition and change its property to somewhere around here like this, or you can select this point and hold shift on your keyboard and drag it somewhere around here. After that, go back to your logo glass composition and drag and drop this reflection map below our layer and go into track matte option and change the track matte to alpha matte like this. After that, go into effect and preset window and search for CC glass effect. Drag and drop it here in effect control panel and go into surface and change the bump map to logo outline and change the softness to 100%, height to somewhere around 70% and displacement to somewhere around -100%. Again, go into effect and preset window and search for CC blobilize effect and drag and drop it here and go into blobbiness and select the logo outline and change the softness to 70% and cut away to somewhere around 13%. Perfect. After that, go at 2 seconds and select this reflection map layer and hit T on your keyboard to reveal the opacity properties and add a keyframe on the stopwatch icon and go at 3 seconds and change its opacity to 0%. Select both the keyframes, right click over here, keyframe assistant and make them easy ease. You can also press F9 on your keyboard to make them easy ease. Go into graph editor and make your graph to something like this. Perfect. Go back. After that, go back to your main composition and create another composition and rename it to glass effect. Width and height is same as our previous composition. Hit OK. After that, drag and drop this logo placeholder comp right here and drag and drop this logo glass effect on the top of our logo placeholder composition and change its blending mode to add to give it a reflection look like this. After that, right click over here, new, and create a new adjustment layer and rename it to light brushed like this. After that, go into effect and preset window and search for CC light brushed 2.0. Drag and drop it here and change the intensity to somewhere around 80% and ray length to somewhere around 70% like this. Perfect. And make sure you are at the very beginning of your animation and add a keyframe on intensity, ray length and go at 1 second and change the intensity to all the way 0% and this one 0% as well. Hit U on your keyboard to reveal the keyframes. Select all the keyframes, right click keyframe assistant and make them easy ease. Go into graph editor and make sure you are working on the speed graph, not the value graph. Select the keyframes and drag them to somewhere around 80 or 82% influence and this one around 20 or 25%. Perfect. Go back to your main composition and drag and drop this glass effect composition right here and drag it to 1 second and 10 frames and go at 2 seconds and 10 frames and hit T on your keyboard to reveal the opacity properties and add a keyframe on the stopwatch icon of the opacity and go at the very beginning of this layer and add 1 second and 10 frames and drag the opacity all the way 0%. So here is our logo. So we have to match the colors. So we will select this layer and select this eye eyedropper tool and select this blue color. Again select this layer and change its color to this blue color. Perfect. After that, select all the layers and hit U to close all the properties and click on this toggle switches and make all the layers 3D like this. And after that, right click over here, new, and create a new camera and hit OK. Again right click over here, new, and create new null layer like this. Perfect. After that, go at 3 seconds and select this null layers and make it 3D, and select this camera and select this pick whip and make the null layer the parent of the camera like this. And after that, make sure you are at the 3 second and select this null layer and hit P on your keyboard to reveal the position properties and add a keyframe. And after that, go at the very beginning of your animation, set it to around 2400%. After that, go at 4 seconds and 10 frames and change it to somewhere around minus 500%. Select both the keyframes, hit F9 on your keyboard, go into graph editor, select the graph like this and change it to somewhere around 80% right here. After that, select this one and drag it to somewhere around 20%. After that, select this one and drag it to somewhere around 80% as well to make it a bounce right here. After that, go back and let's ramp preview it, and this is our final dynamic logo animation looks like. Perfect. So if you want to download the project file of this tutorial, so link is in the description and you can download from there, and you can place any logo that you want. Let me show you how you can do that. Simply double click on this logo layer and drag any of your logo. Let's say we have this logo, drag and drop it here and hide the previous one, and this is how it looks like after changing the logo. So that's it for today guys. I hope you have enjoyed today's tutorial, and if you really did, so let me know. I will bring more amazing logo animation tutorials for all of you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Till then, keep practicing, keep growing. Bye.